Hi, welcome back to Pronunciation Workshop. My name is Nguyệt Anh, and now from today I want to learn English in VOA. Learning English by practice reading a story for 10 to 15 minutes a day. I can practice speaking English more and more and will improve my English. From today, I will tell you about The Murder in the Rue Morgue by Edgar Allan Poe, Part 1. Let's start.
Part 1.
Paris. It was in
Paris.
during the
It's
summer of
in
1840.
Paris during the summer of 1840. There and then, I met a strange and interesting young man named Auguste Dupin. Dupin was the last member of a well-known family. A family that had once been rich and famous. Auguste Dupin, however, was far from rich. He cared little about money. He had enough to buy necessities and a few books. That's all. Just books. With books, he was happy. In fact, we first met in an old bookstore. A few more transmitting as short followed soon we began to talk. I was deeply interested in the family history he told me. I was surprised too at how much and how widely he had read. More important, the force of his busy mind was like a bright line in my soul. I felt that the first thing such a man would be, for me, riches without price. So I told him how I felt and asked him to come live with me. He could enjoy using my many fine books, and I could have the pleasure of company, for I was not happy alone. We passed the day reading, writing, and talking. But Dupin was a lover of the night, so often we walked the streets of Paris after dark. I should notice that Dupin had a special way of understanding people. Using it gave him great pleasure. He told me once, with a soft laugh, that he could see through the windows that most men have over their hearts. He could look into their soul. Then he surprised me by telling what he knew about my own soul. He knew things about me that I had thought only I could possibly know. At this time, he acted cold and emotionally distant. His eyes looked empty and far away. His voice became high and nervous. At short time, it seemed to me that I saw not just Dupin, but two Dupin, one who coldly batted together, and another who just as coldly took them apart. One night we were walking down on a very long, dirty street. We were quiet, though busy with our own thoughts. But suddenly Dupin spoke. "You are right," he says. "He's very little fellow, that's true, and he would be more successful in a brighter, less serious place." "Yes, there can be no doubt of that," I said. At first, I saw nothing strange in this. Dupin had agreed with me. This, of course, seemed to me quite natural. A few moments passed, then it hit me. Dupin had not agreed with something I had said. He had agreed directly with my thoughts. He had not spoken a word.
I stopped walking.
Dupin had raised my mind. I stopped
I
walking.
don't understand.
Dupin, I
How could
just,
you know
Dupin,
that
I
I was
don't
thinking
understand. How
Here I
could you
stopped
know
speaking.
that I was
If
thinking
he
of?
really had heard my
Here,
thoughts,
I stopped
he would have to
speaking.
prove it.
If he really had
And
heard
he
my
did.
thoughts, he would
He
have
said,
to rule it.
How did I know you
And
were
he
thinking
did.
of Shanti?
He says,
You were thinking
how
that
did I know
Shanti is
you
too
were
small
thinking
for the
of
plays in
Shanti?
which he
You
acts.
were thinking that
That is indeed
Shanti
what I was
is too
thinking.
small for
But
the
tell
place
me,
in
in
which.
heaven's
That's
name,
in this
how did
way
you
I was
know?
thinking. But tell me,
It was the
in
fruit
heaven
seller.
names, how did you
Fruit
know?
seller?
It was
I
the
mean the
fruit
man who
seller.
bumped into
Fruit
you as you
seller?
entered the street, maybe
I
15
mean the
minutes
man
ago.
who bumped into
Oh,
you
yes,
as
I
we
remember
entered the
now.
street
A
maybe
fruit seller
15
with a
years ago.
large basket of
Oh
apples.
yes, I remember
Indeed.
now. A
But
fruit
what
seller
does that
with
have
a
to do
large
with you
bucket
knowing
of
I was
apple
thinking of
bumping to
Shanti?
me. But
I will
what
explain.
does that have
Listen
to do
closely
with you know? I
Let us
was
follow your
thinking about.
thoughts
I
from the
will
fruit seller
explain.
to the stage
Listen
actor,
closely
Shanti.
now. Let's follow
thoughts
your
must have
choice
gone
from
like this.
fruit seller to
Fruit
the
seller
street
to
actor trendy.
cobblestones,
So
cobblestones to
truth
stereotomy,
must have gone like
stereotomy
this.
to Epicurus,
Fruit
to
seller
Orion,
to
and then to Shanti.
Catalan to stereotomy to
As we turned onto the
Epicurus
street,
to
the
Arian.
fruit seller
He
bumped me.
continued,
You
as we
stepped
turned on
some
the streets,
uneven
the fruit
cobblestone.
seller and
I
my
could
drill.
see that
You
it hurt your
stepped
foot.
on some
You spoke a few
uneven
angry
cobblestone.
words
I
to
could see
yourself
that you
and
hurt
continued
your
walking.
foot. You spoke a
But
few
you
angry
kept
words to
looking at the
yourself
cobblestones in
and
the street,
continued walking.
so I knew
But
you
you
were
kept
thinking of them.
looking at the
Then
cobblestone
we came
in
to
the
a
streets,
small
so I
street
knew
where they
you
are
were
putting
thinking
down
of
new
them.
street stones.
Then we came to a
Here
small
your
street
feet
where
became
they
lighter.
putting
You
down
were looking
new
at
street
these
stone.
more even
Here your
stones, and
brighter.
your lips
You were
moved.
looking at
I
this
was
small
sure
even
they
stone,
formed the
and
word
your lips
stereotomy,
moved.
which is the name
As you were
for how
sure they
these new
formed the
stones
word
are cut.
steros, which is the name for
Stereotomy
how
takes a large
the
block
new stone
and
are
divides
cut.
it evenly into small pieces.
Stereotomy check
You will
below
remember
and
that we read
divide
about
is
it in the
evenly into
newspaper
small
only
bits.
yesterday.
You will remember
I
that
thought
we
that the
read
word
about in the
stereotomy
newspaper
must be
only
the root of the
yesterday.
old Greek
I
writer
thought
and
that the
thinker,
grass
Epicurus.
must make you
His
think
ideas
of
are
go
also about
Greek
dividing
writer and
objects
thinker.
into smaller and
His
smaller
ideas are
pieces
also
called
about
atoms.
dividing objects
He
into
argues that the
smaller and
world and
smaller
everything
pieces
else are
called
made
atoms.
of these
He
atoms.
argues that the
You and
words
I
in
were talking
everything
about
else are made
Epicurus and
of
his
these
ideas,
atoms.
his
You and
atoms
I was
basically.
talking about
We were talking about how
Epicurus and
much
his
those
idea.
old
He
ideas are
atom
like
recently.
today's
We are
scientific
talking
study of the
about how
planets
much
and
those
stars.
our
So
idea
I
are
felt
true.
sure that now, as we walked,
So
you
I
would look up to the
felt
sky.
sure that
And you
now,
did.
as we walk,
I
you
looked
will look
also
up
at
to
the
the sky,
sky.
and you
I
did.
saw that the group of stars
I
we
looked
call
also at
Orion
the
was
sky.
very
I saw
bright
that
and
the
clear
group of
tonight.
stars
I
we
knew
can
you would notice
call
this and
Orion
that you would
very
think
bright
about
and
the
clear
name
tonight.
Orion.
I knew you would
Now
notice
keep
this
listening
and that you
carefully.
were thinking about
Only
the Orion.
yesterday, in the
Now
newspaper,
keep
there was a
listening
report about
carefully.
the actor
Only
Shanti.
yesterday, in
The
the
critics did
newspaper,
not
there
praise
were
him,
reports
and
about
he
the
used
actor
a Latin
Chantity.
saying that
The
had also
critic
been
did not
used to
praise him,
describe
and he
Orion.
used a
So I
Latin
knew you
saying
would put
that's
together the two
being used to
ideas of
decry
Orion
Arian.
and
So I knew
Shanti.
you would to
I
put
saw you
together
smile,
the two
remembering the
ideas of
article
Arian
and the new
Chantity.
words in it.
I saw you
Then I
smile,
saw you straighten up,
remembering the
as
article
tall
and
as
the
you could
big
make
works
yourself.
in it. Then
I
I
was
saw
sure
you
you were thinking
straighten
of
up,
Shanti's
as
size,
tall as you
and
could make
especially
yourself.
his
I
height.
saw you thinking
He is
of
small,
Chantity's style,
quite short,
and especially his
and so I
height.
spoke, saying
He is
that
small,
he is
he's
indeed a
short.
very little man,
And
this
I shall
Shanti,
speak
and he
saying
would
that
be
he
more
is indeed
successful
a very
if the
little
actors
man,
invited
this
him to less
Chantity,
serious
and he would
plays.
be more successful if he acted
I
like
cannot
a
say I
cherry
was
place.
surprised by what Dupin had
I
just
cannot
reported.
say I was
My
surprised
reaction
by
was
what
much
Dabin
bigger
had
than
just reported.
surprise.
My
I
reaction
was
was much
astonished.
bigger than just
Dupin was
surprise.
right,
I was
as right as he could be.
astonished.
Those were,
The
in
pen
fact,
were
my
right,
thoughts,
as
my
right as he
unspoken
could be.
thoughts.
Sure was
My
in
mind
fact my
moved
choice,
from
my
one thought to
unspoken
the
choice,
next.
as my mind
But if
moved
I was
from one
astonished
choice
by
to the
this,
next.
I would soon
But
be
if I
more than
were astonished by this, I
One
would
morning,
soon be
this
more than
strangely
astonished.
interesting man
One
showed
morning,
me once
this
again
strange
his
interested
unusual
man, show me one again. His unshoreable, reasoning power.
By unknown
we heard that an old woman had been killed by unknown persons. The killer or the killers had catch her head up and escaped into the night. Who was the killer? The murderer. The police had no answer. They had looked everywhere and found nothing that helped them. They did not know what to do next, and so they did nothing. But not Dupin. He knew what to do. And it's the end of today. Thanks for listening and see you again.